Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the man who touched my spaghetti. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. How you doing, Mikey?
Huh, Andy?
You know a meme's old when we start referencing it at the beginning of a show.
I don't know, Andy. Do you know the way?
I do know the way.
Is it the way of your people?
Russian, Ugandan knuckles still the best, but I do like the somebody touching my spaghetti though.
That was strange. I saw that finally.
What? Somebody touching my spaghetti?
No, Russian Ugandan knuckles.
It's so good.
It's just like VR chat. Everyone's chatting away, and then he just sort of drives off. And it's the fact there's little tank noises as he's coming in.
Yep. Russian national anthem as he drives away. It's great.
Oh dear.
Makes no sense. Love it. We're going to jump straight into the Transformers news, though, for this week. Mr. Mikey. Not a lot this week, once again. Not a huge surprise, but there you go. It's good for us. We're going to kick off with Mech Planet's Hot Toys HS-13 Goldbug. And they've really gone to town with the colouring on this guy, and in doing so, I think made him incredibly inaccurate to how Goldbug looks. Unsurprisingly, it's just a Bumblebee mold, which I don't think it should be.
No, it shouldn't. The design's completely different.
Yeah. But they have given him a few little, I think, extras that they didn't originally have for him. So the extras he has are, he has 2 guns. He has an extra Bumblebee head. So if you don't like this kind of half-arsed Goldbug, as I'm going to call it right now, you can give him a Bumblebee head and then have it still not very accurate to Bumblebee, color scheme-wise. There's a tiny transforming Ravage, which I assume is... I don't know if this 100%. It looks like it might be the same Ravage as the one that came with Soundwave, or it might be bigger. It might be different. I don't know. As neither of us have the Ravage, or the Soundwave, I should say, with the Ravage, it's hard for us to tell. It might be new, it might not be, but you get that with him. You also get the Sky Spy, which was the thing from the G1 episode where it kind of scanned everything from Teletran. And for some reason, it's on a little box that says hot.
Hot.
I don't know why. He's also got a little back wheel bit for a spare tire, and then another bit next to that. What's a bit to the left of that?
Maybe it goes in the same spot if you don't want him to have a spare tire?
No, yeah, that would make sense, I suppose.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's not very descriptive of what that's meant to be. It's there. The guns remind me of do you remember the pre-order bonus that you got for Transformers Devastation? Or the in quotations DLC, and you got these stupid guns that you used to shoot people, and you got extra money from shooting them. I think they're based off that, but I don't know for 100%. But how do you feel, Mikey, about this Goldbug, as he's going to be called now?
Fairly terrible.
It is. Why don't you like it then?
Well, one, I don't like the base mold.
No. Yes. You're not a fan of Fat Bumblebee.
No. 2, the Goldbug head looks like what it is, another design implanted on this robot. It does not look... I don't even think it's in the right scale. If you look at the size of the face versus the size of Bumblebee's face, it's way too big for that body. It's way too big. I mean, I like the extras. I think there's some nice bits with the extras. I think the Sky Spy is a lovely addition.
It's not the right color, though, is it? Or was it that color? I can't remember.
I think it was like... Honestly, I don't remember. Just know that it fucked up. The first thing it ever did was fuck up and make Skywarper Jet. It's like you had one job. He just... I don't like the Goldbug color anyway.
Oh, really? You don't like that dirty yellow?
No, because it's never gold.
Oh,
no one ever does it gold. Why aren't they making it gold?
Do you want it made out of pure gold, Mikey?
This is urine bug.
Yeah, see, I don't mind this color. I like the dirty kind of gold effect.
Shameful bug.
Oh man, shameful bug.
We'll be talking about shame later on, don't you worry. But yeah, I'm just not a fan.
Okay.
What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the color. I think the color's fine for a golden color. hopefully without it turning to dust. But like you say, the head just it doesn't work with this body. He should have more blue on him, like his thighs and shins. I think should be like the same kind of blue as the top of his head, and I'm pretty sure his biceps should be the same color as well. Just thinking off the top of my head, I don't have a picture of Goldbug open looking at him, but I'm pretty sure he had a lot more color to him than that. For some reason, they've just gone with the toy colors, it seems. And I don't know why, because the toy colors were basic, because that was a fucking basic-ass figure. Because it had to be. Yeah, just disappointing. The accessories, like you say, are kind of neat, but to me, don't make it worthwhile, I don't think. At least in my eyes. Maybe there are some people out there who see this and like, yeah, this is okay. I wouldn't mind this. I don't know. I could skip it easily. Mikey, do you want to take us on to Maz Toys?
Yeah, so Maz Toys have got a prototype image up of Maz Toys Renegade, which is their Tetrajet Cybertronian Starscream. Now, this guy was included in some of their design sketches and CAD models. One of the TFCons. So it is a sort of Tetrajet that turns into a G1 style Seeker. Of course, they're already planning Thundercracker and Skywarp, and presumably the other billion, so they make as much money as they can. Should be about 20 centimeters tall. Yeah, not much to say about it because it's literally just a front-on shot. And it's not even a front-on shot that shows the whole robot. The base design looks fine, and from what I understand, the Maz Toy, Bumblebee, Rune, Glyph, whole kit and caboodle actually turned out fairly well.
Yeah, did it?
In terms of build quality and stuff like that.
Huh.
The only thing that's not really doing anything for me here is the face design, just because it looks weird.
It looks Pretty Boy
yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah, but not like Pretty Boy Japanese if you described it to someone who'd never seen an anime. Or never watched any Japanese TV. So it doesn't actually have the right look, but it looks like this is what someone thinks that look is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think it helps. It has absolutely no expression at all.
No.
Nothing to it.
The thing is, that face, I wouldn't be shocked if it can be swapped out, because it looks like it's a separate piece from the helmet.
Yeah, agreed, yeah.
But also, like, the whole thing is scratched to bejeebus, so, everything should be grain of salt. We don't know what's coming next. But
sure.
This showed up on the Maz Toys Twitter and their Facebook, so keep your eyes there. I mean, I have very few opinions on this just until I see the whole thing. What about you, Andy?
I mean, like you say, we're gonna have to, before I want to slap down and go, this is pile of shit, or this is god tier, or meh. It would be nice to see some actual full body shots of it and see what the alt mode looks like, and give us a basic idea of how this figure's gonna work. Like you say, it's a very tight shot of the torso and head, and that's about it. I'm not a big fan of how the face, like you, has came out. Hopefully it'll have the interchangeable faces, and there'll be a bit more personality in some of the other ones. And when I say more personality, I don't mean like Masterpiece 3 Starscream's alt faces, or Skywarp or Thundercrackers, where their alt face was them screaming in utter agony. Remember those faces, Mikey?
Oh yeah,
they were
a
thing. A terrible, terrible mistake. Otherwise, I don't have anything else to say on it, to be honest. Shall I take us on then, Mr. Mikey?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to head over to Japan, talk about the Takara Legend stuff. And oh, Mikey, I'm feeling good. My wallet, my wallet's bad.
Crying.
It is. It's feeling awful. It's feeling like I've been slapping it about and throwing it against the wall. But oh, my heart feels good, Mikey. As we have images, as people have been receiving this latest wave. I don't know what wave this is at this point. The latest wave of the Takara Legends figures. We've got LG 58, 59, and 60. If you're good at counting numbers like I am, you would know that. We have the Clone Bot set, the Autobots, Fastlane and Cloudraker. I don't know what their Japanese names are. Not that it really matters, if they are different at all. Blitzwing and Overlord. We have the magazine comic scans, the manga scans, if you want to go that way, of Overlords, but only Overlords. We don't have the other two for some reason. No one has scanned those yet. And Mikey has a story to tell us about the Overlord comic. Have you seen a lot of the pictures that people have been taking and putting up of these three figures then?
Yes, mostly the Overlord and the Blitzwing.
Yes. Yeah, there's not as much for the Fastlane and Cloudraker.
But they're basically Fastlane and Cloudraker, you know?
Yeah. An interesting thing I found out was, while looking at the Fastlane and Cloudraker, technically, Mikey, because I didn't know this, the American ones are completely accurate to the... Well, not completely, I don't know about that. That might be hyperbole. But they are more accurate to the G1 cartoon than these two are. But the Japanese versions are the correct color scheme for the Japanese cartoon version, which I didn't know.
Oh, like for Headmasters or something.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know why they had such a different color scheme between the two cartoons, but that's just how it goes. And it just happens to be that the Japanese figures are the same colors as the actual toys, as well as being the Japanese cartoons colors as well. It's weird. So how? I mean, from the images that you've seen of these guys out of boxed and posed and played with and all that jazz, do you have any thoughts on them?
I think they turned out pretty well. I mean, like, the clones is just the clones, so whatever. Blitzwing, I think, probably does look better to me.
Than the American one, or or Megatron in general, or what?
Not Megatron, but the American Blitzwing. I still like that Megatron more, but I do think that the Japanese Blitzwing just turned out better than the American one.
The white face definitely helps Blitzwing, because obviously with the American one, they gave him a purple face, which completely washes out all the detail that you could see there, which is a real bummer.
And Overlord is life.
Oh, he's super good.
So amazingly good, and I want one a lot.
Have you seen the crazy shit people have... Well, no, not crazy shit, but I consider it crazy shit that people have been customizing with this Overlord figure.
Oh, no, Andy, you see, this is canon. They're not customizing. They're canon.
They're canonizing.
This is real. This is an official thing.
Yes. For some people that don't know, people have been unscrewing the chest of Overlord, taking out the Godmaster bits of plastic that are inside the chest, as you may or may not know, removing them. They have 2 bits of plastic attached to them, cutting those off, shaving those down, taking the Giga and Mega head, removing their faces for the Overlord mode, and then gluing somehow through some adhesives or putty or something, the Godmaster backpack things, whatever you want, engine blocks, onto them to make them into Godmasters. Yeah,
it's kind of nuts.
It is. I mean,
I wouldn't do it in a million years. But...
No, I appreciate what they're doing, because I think it's kind of neat. But it's for me, it's too risky. I wouldn't want to do it, because I'm spending a lot of money on an imported Japanese toy. If they live in Japan and they're doing it, it's not as much of a deal, I'm sure. It's just like going to a toy store and doing it. But for an importer like me, to see another importer doing it, I'm like, whoa, wow, ooh, okay. I wouldn't want that to go wrong, because you're fucked if you do. But fair play to them. It's decent. I don't know how they're going to get the faces to stay in. I said to someone, maybe they're just going to get like a spare Titan Master that they don't give a shit about and just change the face over and just use that as a dummy. But yeah, I really like the Blitzwing. I really like him a lot. I love the lighter purple on him. I'm waiting for him to pop up on Mandarake for a good price. Overlord and Fastlane and Cloudraker did pop up today on Mandarake. And I
thought you'd pre-ordered Overlord already.
I had, but I was just kind of looking about, seeing if the Blitzwing had popped up.
Oh, yeah.
And those two had, and I was like, oh, wow, already, Jesus.
Maybe you should pre-order Overlord again, or go to Mandarake and get Overlord again.
No, I'm not going to do that, because I've found
you
a way
might have to, Andy.
No, I won't, because there's a way around that, potentially, to get simply the cheaper UK version.
I was going to say, is it B&M?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I'd still have to do it, of course.
Yes, you are morally obliged now to do it.
And we'll get on to the reason why we're talking about this. This is kind of a roundabout way to the conversation. The reason I get the B&M version when it appears there for £15 is because it's even more different from this Japanese version, giving more credence to the fact that it wouldn't be the same Overlord, Mikey.
And if you saw it for a decent price and maybe put your friends in a helpful situation, maybe.
Nah, who would I help?
I don't know. Who'd you help, Andy? Who'd you help?
I don't think Gruff would need one.
Who would you help?
Stu lives in America, so...
You filthy Yank.
Well, Mikey,
we love all of you Americans.
No, we do. Mikey,
Yep.
do you want to tell us about the comic? Because it's 6 pages.
Yes,
which is
it's
good.
quite a big one.
Yeah.
Like, Sakamoto went to town.
Yep, and I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's good that there's no lewdness in it." And I thought, I looked and I went, "Did you not see that mega thigh?"
Yeah, we need to. I need to just point something out when we get there. Apart from the fact that he had fun drawing her.
Yeah, I had
He
fun
spent
watching
time
that.
and detail drawing that.
Yep, I sent it to Jai, and he sent me a message back going, "Yep."
Yep. We're pointing at Megas somewhere between 30 and 45. And Sakamoto went, right.
Here we go.
This isn't the cat, this isn't the robot, and this isn't a Chinese girl. I've aged up so that I can actually draw her like this. This is someone who's old enough to be someone's mother. Time to have some fun. But yes, we'll get to that. So Jinrai Double Clouder, who's totally not playing the field or anything like that, and
Do you want to say that with Giga involved or Mega involved? I should say.
There is no playing in that. You are played. But and Shooter got this flyer thing. There's like this massive sale on at a restaurant, and they go to the restaurant. An odd restaurant. An odd, unusual restaurant.
With a cannon in front of it.
With a cannon and a jet.
Yep.
But it's okay because there's nothing suspicious because it's owned by Giga and Mega. But they're here basically because they're having a vendetta against Jinrai, and they're sending out flyers to lure him in, and Devil Z's back, and they're working with him, and they're using the power of the Legends world. But he will eat his meal. And he will appreciate the wonderful products at this restaurant. And then they will fight. They will fight. Now, we said we'd have to stop and do this. One, there is action cooking in this.
Yep.
Giga cooks like no man can cook. And we get what has to be like basically, well, time to do Mega. We've got to stick something in there. So it's Mega animated the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, if you remember Mega's design, she was pretty risque at the beginning.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, and I have to point this out just because there are two things your eyes are drawn to in this image. Well, three things, but we're going to leave the top two out. And one is the fact that like Mega's always had this like one of those split dress malarkeys, and it's always been very, very, very high, right? I'm just looking at a picture of the original Mega design, and it's sort of mid buttocks.
Yeah.
But it's cut in a way that you could be convinced she's wearing a thong. Right?
Sure.
Like she has underwear on. Here, it's cut in a way clearly showing she has no underwear on.
Oh yeah, no, she's going commando.
Which, remember, this is preceded by her jumping through the air in action cooking. So probably there's a lot of return customers at this restaurant.
One might imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, the man never misses an opportunity, and you've got to respect him for that. Anyway, also followed up by Jinrai doing the best face man has ever done.
He is enjoying his meal.
He is having a lovely time. He's like, yep, I had good time, and then they're like, right, we will fight now. And he's like, why? Devil Z, not the nicest guy. Why? Don't care, fighting you. Everyone gets in their transector. Super Jinrai taunts his opponents because that's what he does, and he says he's already beaten the tank and the jet in one of the other comics, and they reveal they can become Overlord again by becoming headmasters. And let's see, Jinrai is very confident he can still win because he has Chokin power. But then Overlord reveals that he has something gotten from Zamajin. Remember Zamajin?
No.
He was the one building a person.
Oh, what, from
the Ninjika.
The one that forced Perceptive to become sexy.
Yeah, no, the one that forced Sexy Windblade. So, and a power from their version of the Legends world, which is Shin Kokan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they basically use this to make another jet and tank.
Doesn't really show how. They just seem to materialize.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's made out of pure energy. And then Mega joins with that to become Overlord Giga and Overlord Mega.
Yep.
And they quickly take out Jinrai and God Bomber. Jinrai uses Rat Trap and fuses with him to get a big boost of power choke-on stuff. And then they use Overlord Giga uses choke-on disrelieve missile barrage. That Jinrai nearly dies from, but becomes God Jinrai and survives with new armor. But then they reveal the ultimate weapon. You see, they now have 2 Overlords, and they can combine to become Overlord Terra, otherwise known as the Overlord Megazord. And this is what we were talking about earlier on. You see, this is something you can do.
Yeah, like all these fan modes that Sakamoto puts in his comics are things that you can actually do.
Yep. So you can make Overlord Terra if you've got 2 versions of the toy, like if you bought a Japanese one and then a cheap one from B&M.
Or some people who just bought 2 Overlords because they have a lot of money.
And madness.
Yes.
I mean, it's like you could still use both Headmasters as well, even if you've got the UK one. Just put Giga in the American one, because his head shape works better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and there is a bit of a kicking for old God Jinrai.
Why does it say why Double Clouder or Clouder has Devil's Head wrapped up in like Energon chains?
Because it turns out Double Clouder is a double agent.
Oh my god.
and he was sent to spy on Overlord, Giga, Mega, and Devil Z, and capture Devil Z especially, by the great hero of the Legends world, Mayor Megatron.
Oh, cool. Go Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron the hero, damn it. God Jinrai is then just getting his ass kicked, but then Rat Trap uses the power of great courage and basically turns him into Fire Guts.
Which has to be an exclusive at some point.
Oh, it really should.
Has to be.
They take out Overlord, and then they inform him that, if they kill Devil Z, because Giga and Mega were revived, Giga and Mega will die, but they're not going to kill him. So they're going to survive. And Jinrai says, you know what? We fought bravely, great warriors. We did all this stuff. What we're going to do now, you're going to go back to work in your restaurant, and one day we'll fight again. And so
hang on. Did he just do a Goku?
He did a Goku. You never go full Goku.
But you could destroy the planet. Yes. But I'd have a good fight. And isn't that worth it, even if I have to sacrifice everybody?
Yeah, now cook me food. So the story ends with Jinrai not leaving. And because they still had the sale going on, so they cancelled the sale, because otherwise he wouldn't leave. And Double Clouder introduces Mega to her adopted family, which is the Headmaster Juniors from the Decepticons. And Cancer is screaming and going straight for the boobs, as was his wont back in the comic, back in the cartoon. Because if you remember Master Force, he spent a lot of time in them boobs.
Yep.
That's not Sakamoto. That's Master Force.
Yep.
So yeah, the most Japanese of the G1 Transformers shows had one of the most Japanese Transformers comics in a long while.
It was super good. I really liked it.
Very retro. Very retro. It was fun. I really liked it. The art's great. Mega's hilarious. I'm just like, of course you draw her that way, just to remove all doubt in our minds.
I like the fact that Sakamoto made Overlord, not Overlord, yeah, the female Overlord look female, like the way he drew her, or yeah, it still looks very, very feminine, but still Overlordy.
Yeah, very hippie, oddly enough. Also, it suddenly makes you realize, like, why are the chest panels closed on her? Because it's a bra.
Ah, is that the reason?
Think about it.
I mean, there's probably, yeah.
Man has his nipples on show. Woman is hiding her nipples.
Sure, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I thought it was really fun. Like, it looks great. I love the ending. I love that Rat Trap's involved. And then, as you said, that this Goku ending, it's just like, I tried to kill so many people. Yeah, but we could do this again. And then it's just like, get out of my restaurant. No. Your food is lovely. Get out!
There's a sale on.
But yeah, so yeah, check that out as always. Come on, guys, with the, like, I'm reading synopses, so remember, people out there who translate things, get with the translating. We want a little printable booklet of these we can have one day. But yeah. Andy, take us on.
Sure. Well, no, it's up to you now. That was my story.
Oh, yeah. So, Transformers Evergreen branding expanded to other Transformers iterations. I feel like Evergreen is going to stop being a thing people say when this gets an official title. I think it's just Transformers.
It has to, yeah, because Evergreen just it makes no sense unless they're fighting in a place called Evergreen, right?
And, well, largely as well, because these are the Cyberverse designs by the looks of it.
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah, so basically the designs used for the Evergreen toys, which was the idea that the toys that will just sell, it looks like this is going to become the backing for the next while. So, at the... I'm just going to scroll up. Based on the London Toy Fair, several Transformers Robots in Disguise merchandise were seen, including die-cast vehicles, RC cars, and other stuff. But people noted that the backing cards and packaging artwork now featured the Cyberverse versions of the characters. So not the RID Optimus and Bumblebee, it featured the Cyberverse one. This transition occurred across the entire market. People were seeing this for several toys, and the question in people's minds is this replacing Power of the Primes in terms of like the marketing for generations? I don't think so. I think this is going to be, well, to be blunt, I think this is, hey guys, the toys that are coming out from the RID stuff is going to be released under the Cyberverse like banner.
That's how it sounds, yeah.
Like, I don't think this is a mass scale rebranding or anything like that. Like, there's not, like, people do like to freak out a bit, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes. I can understand because sometimes the information isn't presented in the best or easiest to understand way sometimes. So, I don't know. So it seems weird that like RID is going to kind of get umbrellaed under the Evergreen title.
To be fair, I suppose it's just like we made these toys, we never got a chance to release them. So.
Yeah, because I mean that it's happened before. It happened with RID. You remember
happened
when
with the movie?
Yeah, it definitely happened with the movie. Yeah. So it's not unusual, I suppose.
Anyway, Andy, I mean, there's not much to say in that. So
no. I'll move us on and talk about movie stuff as the motion picture sound editor's Golden Reel nominees. The Last Night has been included in that. For outstanding achievement in sound editing is a music score. Transformers The Last Night, Paramount Pictures, supervising music editor Alex Gibson. And then a load of music editors. Jeanette Serge, I think. Jason Rudder, Brian Lawson, Sam something, Daniel DePrimer, Daryl Hall, Philip Tolman, and Dane Leon. A lot of these people, probably deserve this award. There was another award that Transformers was nominated for The Last Night, which was a Razzie. It's for Worst Movie of the Year. It's on with things like The Emoji Movie, so I would say that Transformers shouldn't win it on the basis that The Emoji Movie was alongside it. And, have you seen The Emoji Movie, Mikey?
No, I haven't.
Would you say it's worse than Transformers?
Yes, without seeing it, yes.
Yes, I agree. So I would be disheartened if Transformers won that. Not like awards or award shows really mean anything to me personally, but
yeah,
that's just the thing. I wanted to mention those quick awards briefly. But the main bit of news for at least the cinematic universe is the fact that it may be shrinking. This doesn't seem to be affecting Transformers, and when I say it's shrinking, it seems to be suggesting that Mask and Rom the Space Knight movies might not be happening. And I can't say that that's a huge shame, at least in my eyes anyway. There's also information on G.I. Joe and Micronauts. Those movies are still apparently going ahead. G.I. Joe will apparently be a reboot, a new entry, so it's not going to count the other movies, which is probably for the best, and is slated, hopefully, to hit the theaters in March the 27th, 2020. And Micronauts will be October, so in the same year, October the 16th, 2020. So that's 2 Hasbro movies in 1 year. Who do you think they are? Marvel. Come on, guys. Come on. But good luck with that, I suppose. Like you say, it doesn't affect Transformers, as the Bumblebee movie is still coming out apparently at the end of this year, in December. And information for Transformers 6 is still planned for 2019 for the summertime. So, there's also the animated...
Oh, hang on.
Yes?
Next official Transformers film to be planned for summer 19, currently undergoing a director search.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. At least it's not Bay then.
Ding dong, the bitch is dead.
I don't even...
The influence of the bitch is probably still long lasting, as I think he's still a producer. But...
Yeah, that's the worry, but hopefully it'll mean good things.
Oh, they'll get the guy who did Turtles.
Ooh, no. No. Neither of them. Was it the same guy that did both?
Yes, and he
Ooh.
was like he was like a Bay prodigy or something like that.
Yeah, you could tell. There was no quality to that movie.
Hey,
Sorry, Gal.
Andy, we've all got the genetic information for rhinos and warthogs in our DNA.
Oh, good. That makes sense.
All you had to do was have a rhino and a warthog. Or say, I have the genetic sample from a rhino and a warthog.
Yep.
Why did you not do the most... Why?
Because that's how evolution works, Mikey.
No, but even with bullshit comic book science, the explanation's there. You didn't need to take a dumb explanation and get a dumber one.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, yes, I am.
Oh, maybe,
You ruined Bebop and Rocksteady.
maybe you should go work in Hollywood, Mikey.
Yes, I should, because clearly I'm brighter.
Well, what do you think about the idea that Mask and Rom are not getting made, potentially, at least anytime soon?
I'm disappointed about ROM. Because I quite like the ROM now. The ROM is something I'm fond of.
Oddly enough, I think that would be probably one of the easiest to adapt into this current market, as that seems like the most kind of superhero-y, especially when you have things like Captain Marvel coming out. You could kind of... Maybe they don't want to have it run off and be like, oh, this is a knockoff version of that. I don't know. But you could at least use it as a pusher or something, I would have thought.
Yeah, I would have thought that ROM's the easiest of any of them to adapt.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's you got space magic, you've got a space knight, you've got all the normal stuff. Like G.I. Joe and Mask are hard to translate into the modern day. Micronauts is going to be hard to translate full stop. So I'm surprised ROM is going. Not surprised Mask is going.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'd like a ROM movie, but ho hum. I don't hold out much hope for either G.I. Joe or the Micronauts movies. I'll be completely honest.
No.
Unless there's something going on behind the scene we're not seeing. I
think low expectations are the safest thing to go with, to be fair, with these kind of movies.
I mean, I didn't expect it to affect Transformers in the least.
No.
No. I mean, Boulder is hiring someone for the animated movie. The Transformers 6 was just expecting. The best thing to come out of this was this one line from the Hasbro vice president. The toy line is the original inspiration, and toy sales don't directly dictate the stories we develop.
Okay.
Really.
Cool.
I have about 5 years of comic books that says otherwise.
Boom.
Bumblebees are one of our most popular characters. Give them a voice.
Yep.
Just forget all that nonsense and let him talk.
They did. Remember our ID? They just didn't give him anything to say.
No, they give him idiots to work with.
Yeah, that's about it for the movie stuff. So, Mikey, do you want to take us on?
Yeah, quick thing here. Power of the Primes Legends Wave 2 and Prime Masters Wave 1 have been released in the UK. So these were spotted in... Where was it? They're just saying the UK here. We don't have... Burton. They're set in Burton Toy Planet. But the important thing here is that it's Windcharger, Beachcomber, and Battle Slash and Road Trap.
Ooh.
Which are, two very interesting ones because everyone's like, oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
I would say maybe don't, because they're £12.99 for a Legends figure. Let me put on my old man hat, Mikey, and take you back in time. Do you remember back in the day, Mikey, when you could get a deluxe figure for £12.99?
No, I live in Ireland.
They were always 20.
Yep. Yeah, and also Andy just sent this over to me, like an addendum to the Mech Planet story from earlier on. They've released images of their prototype for Cliffjumper, who looks as awkward as Goldbug.
It's been remolded at least.
Been remolded, so it has a little flap at the top.
And different feet.
And different feet. And he has a big cannon to shoot people in the dick with.
Yep.
Because he did that one time. But he just looks terrible. Anyway, Andy, finish us off with some convention news.
I just want to mention as well that the planet, the Toy Planet, seems to be an indie store. Like, I haven't heard of it before.
No. But who knows? Like, they're scattered all over the place.
I mean, I wouldn't expect, like, unless you've got a Toy Planet near you, I don't think this means that Toys R Us are going to be stocking them anytime soon.
But I suppose keep your eye out. They were supposed to show up in Ireland this week, but they didn't.
What, Wave 1? Yeah, they haven't appeared in my Toys R Us because I checked this weekend, and I mean, we'll get onto that, but they had a pitiful showing of Transformers, like sad stuff. But in terms of convention news, we have information that for TFCon 2018 in Toronto, Hal Ryle will be a voice actor going. For those not aware, Hal Ryle was the voice of Shrapnel, Snarl, Pipes, and Skuxoid.
Oh, he's one of the alien lizard people.
Oh, okay. He went ha 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 ha.
I think that was him, yeah.
Ah, okay. He will be going to TFCon Toronto. So if you're going there in Canadian land for July from the 13th to the 15th, you'll get to see that guy. I wonder if they'll get Maud Flanders, his wife, to go as well.
That'd be nice. She seems nice.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I saw them last year, or I had the option to. So they're just like TFCon's just picking up our sloppy seconds. I'm just saying that. Sloppy second TFCon. Come to TF Nation, the innovator. And speaking of TF Nation, we have a new guest announced, and it's going to be Nick Roche. A man who looks like he's wanted by the police on his image that they've used for his promotion thing.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of that.
What, Nick looking like a criminal?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's happened to you, Nick? You used to be a happy man.
To be fair, it's not really helped by the picture they've chosen for his art is Spider-Man, and my eyes are just inadvertently drawn to Spider-Man's bulge, which he drew quite large.
Yes, I noticed that as well. It's hard not to.
Peter is apparently packing, ladies.
Either that or he's smuggling a load of pebbles in his pants.
I know, but that's from the story where he's hanging out with his wife and his daughter.
Oh.
And it's like she has to see that.
Daddy, no. Daddy, no.
Poor Mayday.
Oh, you're an embarrassment to me, father.
Don't I look pretty? No.
For those not aware, Nick Roche worked on Last Stand of the Wreckers and Sins of the Wreckers, as well as a few other standalone comics as well, like the Cup Spotlight and the Megatron Spotlight and some other bits as well. And that's all our news for this week, Mr. Mikey.
It was a quiet week.
It was. Maybe that's for the best, I don't know. But Mikey, what have you been up to this week that may or may not have been interesting?
Let's see. I got a couple of things.
Oh, big spender Mikey.
No, well, one was like something that's about 2 months delayed, which had been here ages ago. But,
okay.
I was in Cork on Friday, and I was just wandering around. Just wandered into their Smiths, and they were having a sale on.
Right.
So I managed to pick up a cheap deluxe, and it was Topspin.
Oh, cool. How much was he?
About 15 euros.
Yeah.
So big price drop from the 25 he was at last time I saw him.
I hear good things about him.
Here's the weird thing. In many ways, he's not special.
How so?
The transformation is simple. The articulation is decent, but nothing mind-blowing. The aesthetic is good, but it's Topspin. And the vehicle mode is you have to accept it's Topspin. I think Twin Twist 1 actually works better as an alt mode. He's got an interesting couple of elements in his transformation, like the rotation of the chest. That's quite interesting. But most of it is fairly standard. And yet, I can't put him down.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know. I'm constantly fiddling with him. Like, he's like back and forth out of each mode, and just like every now and then, just pick him up if my hands aren't doing anything, and just, why do I have you?
Is it because he's simple?
Maybe. He's a very easy pick up and play one. I mean, a lot of people are saying he's the best of the line. Like, I've handled a fair few Titans Return now, even if I don't own that many.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's the best in the line. Like, I don't know. Like, I think just as a base toy, there's plenty of other ones that are as good or better.
Who would you say is the best one then, from the ones that you've handled?
Oh god, that's
just to give the listeners
probably
some
Trigger
kind of
Happy.
Idea, you know,
probably Trigger Happy.
Okay, so Trigger Happy, Misfire, Slugslinger, effectively.
Yeah, like I haven't handled the other two, and apparently like their entire upper bodies are remold.
Yeah, I mean it's still the same toy, and they transform pretty much the same. You just don't have the fancy torso twist, so they're a little bit faster to transform.
Yeah, but I'd say he's probably the best one I've handled.
All right, yeah, I agree with that. I think that's fair.
But Topspin is in many ways average, but he's the one I just keep going back to. It's very odd. Very odd. The other thing, well, I ordered this like in November, and it only just arrived now.
Jugs.
And this is... several milk jugs.
I'm in
from
the porno mag, but okay.
I forgot. Is that still a thing?
I don't. Maybe. Who knows?
Are porn magazines still a thing? Teenagers of the world, are they? Do you still have that moment where you walk into a shop and you're like, your eyes are just pretending to look up the top, and just hopefully none of the people are seeing the 17-year-old look up there?
They're probably still a thing, but they're probably not as regular as they were in.
Do you know what? They're probably like now a connoisseur thing. Where
Yes.
just like those fellows going like, you and your internets. By God, in my day.
See, I
We
was getting
didn't
it for the
have-
articles.
We didn't have delete your history. We hid them under the bed. Oh, I actually know somebody talks like that.
Oh no.
But yeah, so this arrived, and it is the linear bounded phonogram SG01 Okabe Rintaro phone.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. So linear bound phonogram is one of the Steins Gate spin-off games.
Oh, okay.
It's the one with Alpaca Man.
Right, I remember you talking about this.
Happy Alpaca Man.
Yes.
Nothing bad happens to Alpaca Man.
No. Just
Nothing
like in
bad.
Steingates in general.
Yeah. Good. It's a happy fun time story. If none of you are familiar with it, you should totally go into it light-hearted. Light-hearted fare. And when it came in this big special edition box, and it came with loads of crazy stuff inside it. And one of the things was a prop replica of the phone, the Steins Gate phone.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And I saw it going online, and I said, yeah, sure. So I picked it up. And it is an electronic phone, Andy.
Oh, what's that mean then?
So, if I press 1, the phone rings.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Now, this is might be a bit difficult to hear because I had the sound played out, but... That come across?
Oh, yeah, that was Christine.
That was Christine, or Cariso. Next up, this is the important one.
Oh! Yeah, do.
We got Daru.
Yeah.
One more. Yep, so we've got Ocarine.
Sure.
I really like it. It's a really good size, clearly meant for like adults. It's the way the sound is designed is that if you're not holding it to your ear, you can't really hear things very well.
Right.
So it's actually designed for you to be talking on the phone when you hear them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. There's only one thing I could say, like two things. It's fairly limited in terms of what each, but like you get one sound effect per character.
Yeah.
So it's not super built up that way. And two, I really think they dropped the ball by not including other characters.
It seems weird because they're missing at least two or three. Well, three,
Well, like,
right?
They're missing, of the lab members, they're missing Ferris, Luca, and Moeka.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Moeka's would be like her breathing heavily and then saying, hi.
Maybe
and then
crying a lot.
Yeah, and then hanging up. But, and Ferris would just be her telling you that the aliens are coming. But I really am surprised that they don't have someone matched to each button. Like, there was also Mr. Brown and his daughter. They'd easily be able to be included in that.
Yeah.
So I think you could bring it up to at least 9 different voices. So I'm very surprised they didn't. And the fact, like, they put Daru in instead of one of the girls is shocking to me. Because I like Daru. He's cool, but he's not really story important. Like, actually, no, we forgot. They don't have, Oh, Jesus, I forgot her name. Oh, I'm going to have to check that because I actually feel terrible. I can. It's like one of those things. I can see it in my head, but
Suzuha.
They don't have Suzuha in there either. So like, how can you have Daru but not Suzuha, who is far more important?
Yeah.
So I really wish they had more, but it's really fun. It's a lovely little prop thing. Looks great.
Can't believe it took so long to get to you, though. It's been ages.
Post Christmas, after Christmas, not that usual stuff.
I guess.
But you can get a stand for it, like a proper like fancy stand, but I can't be arsed. So I'm just nice little piece to have. Apart from that, it was just kind of TV stuff. Build 20 aired today, so I watched that.
Oh yes.
Bit more character stuff in this one. Still mostly plot, but some more character stuff. Also, one of those really, really annoying moments of hey, new suit in the last 5 seconds.
Right.
And I really hate it because they did a lot of build up to this suit in this episode.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like there was a lot of like, hey, this is important, this is new, And then it's just like 5 seconds. Come back next week. And it's the best looking suit in the show.
Right.
It's a simple suit, but it's the best looking one. So, like I said, I think Build handles the toy aspect pretty poorly. So I feel like that's just a sign of it. But decent episode, better than the last couple. Like, I haven't, it's not, the last couple haven't been bad, but they haven't really done much for me.
Yeah.
This one engaged me a bit more. So yeah, that was my week. What about you, Andy?
I've done bits here and there. I've watched some animus. I finished off my gem anime, Land of Lystria. It you know how I was confused and wasn't quite sure what was going on?
Yeah.
That was the entire anime. They do not explain dick. It sets up the questions that you will then get answered if they have a season 2.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, it does a lot of that, and the main through story is the main character growing, but she doesn't really grow because they're gems. When they lose parts of their body, they lose part of their memory. If you remember me telling you that last week,
yeah,
and she loses her legs and her arms and has those replaced with different minerals. So does she grow as a character, or does she just get effectively rewritten? Because that's that's not growth. Is
she becoming like some sort of weird hybrid mineral?
Kinda.
Oh my god.
Kinda. It's neat. It makes for it's got really good action sequences, but it's so light on actual story. I didn't find it satisfying. Each episode happened, and I was like, I don't know what's going on in this world any more than I did when I started. I don't like any of the characters desperately, though they are super cute, and they do some quite funny things every now and again. I couldn't tell you who they were or what the personalities were, apart from generic anime girl trope stereotype,
Steven Universe.
No, it wasn't any of that, luckily.
I did do a little research into it and just thought, like, hey, have you seen Steven Universe? You'll love this.
No,
and I'm just like, is this because it's the gem thing?
Probably.
If there's no writing similarities, then that's just you being a dick.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, the aliens coming down from the moon or whatever they are, it's never explained what the fuck's going on. It seems to be set in the future where mankind is just a legend now or something. It's almost like it's not a season 1, it's almost like a preview to a season 1, if you know what I mean. And then season 1 will happen and it'll actually explain what the fuck's happening.
That's annoying.
Yeah, I wasn't desperately impressed, to be honest. So I finished also watching Netju no Susume, which is how to have a good internet social life, or whatever it was called.
I've heard of that. I haven't seen it.
It's okay. It's like most romantic shows, I guess, because it ends in, again, kind of a sort of unsatisfying way where they don't actually say they love each other, they care about each other. He just kind of holds her hand and she blushes and she holds his hand back and they kind of walk off, and that's the last episode. And then they have another episode, and I'm like, and it's like when you have that last episode but it doesn't do anything. It just exists, and it's a weird one where it's a dream sequence, so it means nothing. It was okay. There were a lot of really cute moments because they're both nerdy, kind of awkward socially people doing stuff in a dating world, and I was like, oh. But bar that, I was just like, yeah, this is fine. This is easy watching, but I'm not wowed by it in many ways. That was my watching done. I got Slug Slinger. So I've got the Titans Return Slug Slinger. Mine has a problem with his face, as it looks like he had some paint mishap and was missing it around his nose and mouth, so it looked like the guy that had it before me decided to add some Tipex around it. Or some kind of paint at the very least. So it's really it's distracting if you get up close to it. If you have it in hand and you're looking at it, you can notice it. But if you've got it on the table, you don't notice it at all. It's a bit of a shame. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not like super bummed out because I only paid 1,800 yen plus whatever the shipping was. So I got it fairly cheap considering. So I'm not that fussed by it. It's just a little niggle where I go, that's a shame. And I don't think I got anything else. I like his Target Master as well. I'm enjoying that. I just like the Decepticon ones better in general. I think they're a lot better than the Autobot ones. I got to go out and I got to see people, which was nice because it was the first time I did it, or have been able to since before Christmas, a week or two before Christmas, so it was nice to get out and see people. I did go around and check the one B&M I could, and it had no Transformers in at all. Nothing. It had some RID Minicon things, and that was it. And I was like, no, I'm good. And I went into Toys R Us, as I mentioned before, and they had pretty much cleared everything out. The only stuff they had there was 2 Trypticons, both at £100 effectively, and I was like, no, still too much for Andy. And they had, the rest of the stuff was mainly 1 blaster, Titans Return blaster, and a lot of the... Do you remember that 3-pack that was Cyclonus, Galvatron, and Scourge, and they were like candy translucent colors?
No, actually.
Well, it was that. It's not very good. It's like old Galvatron, like the.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, and
you should burn it for the children.
Yeah, it's the old figures, where Scourge transforms into the Boomerang, effectively.
I like the Boomerang. The Boomerang's fine.
I like the Cyclonus as well. It's old, but I still like it.
But that bloody Galvatron.
Yeah, that Galvatron. They've made their money's worth out of it. Somehow.
How?
I don't know.
How?
Well, how? Because they just keep fucking releasing it again and again and again.
Generations of children who know no better. And
Yeah.
their parents who know no better.
I hope there's like a kid out there who will grow up and become a Transformers fan and look back and go, this was my favorite Transformers toy. And you can go, wow, you were probably the right age to enjoy this because there's no one else that would.
What have you been? This was my favorite Transformers toy.
I'm so
sorry. And then throws it out the window.
Just burns it. I think that's been about it. We played on some Tekken and entered the Tekken, which was.
You got fighters yet?
No, I'm not paying full price. I don't pay full price for video games anymore.
Full price.
I plan to get it at some point because it looks a lot of fun.
I'm getting rave reviews, and I watched some of the story stuff and the whatnot. That's surprisingly well written.
Oh, really?
Like, it's goofy and dumb,
Well,
but it's also very purposely goofy. Like, there's a lot of comedy. Cell's a dick.
Good.
Like, Cell's an amazing dick. He's just, like, so bitchy to everyone. He, like, goes off. The best one, find Cell Nappa and watch him go on a 1.5-minute rant about the fact Nappa's not a Super Saiyan.
Nice.
It's just like, yeah. And also, Vegeta is very tsundere.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I suppose he always has been.
But like this is like the writers know.
It's good that it's got its own story and it's not just going through Dragon Ball.
From what I saw, like it's got basically you've got a story which is like with the heroes. You then got a villain story which is kind of the same but different.
Sure.
And then you've got a final story which is the androids, and that's kind of the same but different again.
Oh, cool.
Like it's not like one continuous story. It's like same story told 3 different days with 3 different outcomes and whatever.
Right.
Which I like. I was seeing some people complain, but like it means you don't get repetition in the writing.
Yeah, that's
like,
the main thing.
There's none of that thing of like, oh, you play through this and then you see and now you're going to see that scene, but from the bad guy's perspective.
Yeah.
You're going to see a similar scene, which is different. But I really want to try it at some point.
Yeah, I'd like to get it as well, but like I say, I'm not going to spend like £45 on a video game. Not when I can wait a few months or something and it'll go down to like half price or something, Give it time and I'll get it because I still want to get Neo as well. Go around having Dark Souls Samurai action, but I'm not paying 40 quid for that. So in time, I'm looking forward to having a go of it at least. I've just been doing more Total War Warhammer 2 as the Tomb Kings. Like Total War Warhammer is probably the only game I would buy straight off the bat.
Is that the one with the dinosaur men?
Yes, that has the lizard men in. That's the only game that I'll go for because I like Warhammer a lot. So, that'll do us then for this week's podcast, Mr. Mikey. We're all done and dusted, but we do have 2 new Patreon people. We have Robert. Oh no, I'm gonna get Mikey to say these names because I'm gonna mess them up, and I want you to mess them up instead of me.
Why do I have to mess them up?
Because I did it last week and I messed up the names last week.
You mess them up every week.
Exactly.
You're terrible.
Yes. That's one of them. The exclamation mark is not necessary. It's just patrons' emails like to include the exclamation mark.
Okay. Robert Kogan. Or Robert Kogan!
Gorgon!
Gorgon!
Was that the villain from Total Recall?
No, maybe, but it was also... It sounds a bit like one of Detonator Organ, where there's a character who just goes, Organ!
I have to ask if they're related.
Maybe. And Victor Maldonado.
Yes.
Victor Maldonado!
Yep, all screaming for some reason.
Victor! Hi!
Patreon's really happy. And so are we. Thank you both for signing up to the Patreon.
Very much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice. We've had a slow stream of people coming in, and it's like, whoa, wow, what's going on? I like it. It's just surprising. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if they want to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Palo, on YouTube as GWolfFutury, if I can say it. I help out in the old house, and if you want to send us an email or anything like that, you can send it on the moonbase2@gmail.com. It can be feedback, can be comments, can be audio, can be visual. As long as you're wearing clothes in it, I don't really care.
Oh, wow.
And depending on who you are, clothes are optional. That's right, Andy.
Oh.
Andy, send me a naked picture of you.
I don't think anyone wants to see that.
Oh, yes. That's it.
Only Wayne would.
Send us an email, and I'll send you back a naked picture of Andy taken by Wayne.
It could have happened. I was asleep a lot during TF Nation.
Yeah, when you didn't, to be fair, you'd have known if he was actually watching you in your sleep. It would have been oddly quiet. Oh, bless him. Bless that wonderful man. That's me. Andy, what about yourself?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr, CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter, we're on iTunes, we're on Facebook, we're on Libsyn. We are on most of the RSS feeds, and if you want to sign up to the Patreon page like these two fine people have today, you can head over to patreon.com/moonbase2 and just do $2 each month, and you'll get stuff like From the Files of Teletron 2 a week early and extended, as we talk about Transformers versus Visionaries, or Visionaries versus Transformers, whichever way it is. You also get Moonbase Woo Woo, which this month was me and Josh talking about Disney World and how much we love it, and how much it's been depressing because I've been watching a load of Disney World videos and just go, I want to go back so bad. It's so much money, I want to go. And you'll get stuff like interviews early as well.
And we have one of those out actually this week.
We do, yes, the free version, or the free version of the interview that you did, Mikey.
Yes, with Magdalene Viraggio.
Yes, that is now up and out, so you can go and listen to that if you like. I think it was good. I enjoyed listening to it.
We were retweeted by the Visionaries Twitter.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Officially endorsed.
I was just like, there's a Visionaries Twitter?
Well, you know.
There is a bit in there where I go like, I didn't know there was a Visionaries fandom, where I'm sure like people are flipping out.
Well, I mean, there's a fandom for everything. Like, there'll be a fandom for the most obscure... I was going to say, like, Ring Raiders. You remember Ring Raiders?
There's probably a fandom for ring-tailed lemurs.
Do you remember, what were some of those really not very good and not well-remembered cartoons? There'll be a fandom for them.
Raccoons.
No, I think a lot of people like raccoons. I'm thinking more like what were the ones that were like mountaineers, and they had backpacks, and the backpack shot like a rope to the other side of the mountain, and they slid across.
Are you talking bollocks?
No, there was.
It sounds like you're talking bollocks.
No, that was an 80s cartoon based on a 80s toy line.
Yeah, I missed that one.
It was kind of like Ring Raiders. It might be Ring Raiders. I don't know.
The Action Man cartoon. There we go.
There's another one. James Bond Jr.
Oh my God!
There'll be fans of that. I don't know why, but there will be.
The cast for that thing is nuts.
I only watched 1 or 2 episodes, and that was all I could take. So I don't remember who the cast was.
The cast is insane.
Was it Star Trek cast? Was it Michael?
The villain
Dorn?
Cast includes things like Jeff Goldblum.
Wait, what? Really?
Hang on. We've got time. We've got time for this one, so I'm going to just double check this. Like, Jeff Goldblum played an anti-environmental rat.
What?
Bond.
But James Bond Jr.
Yeah. Hey, let's see. Cast.
What are you even talking about, Mikey? This sounds like fucking woo-woo.
65 episodes. Jesus Christ. Okay, so main characters. We had Corey Burton, Jeff Bennett, Mona Marshall, Jan Rabson, Susan Silos, Simon Templeton, Julian Holloway, and Brian Stokes Mitchell. Villains. Jeff Bennett. Where are the Jeff Goldblum.
Wow, okay, that's pretty impressive. Confusing, but impressive.
Alan Oppenheimer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird show.
It was. I didn't like it, but never mind. Mikey, thank you for joining me on this week's episode of the Moonbase 2 podcast. Will you be buying an Overlord in the distant future?
I'd like one.
You know, there's only one version that you need to get, and it's not the American one. I'm just saying that now. I'm not gonna judge you if you just bought the American one and didn't buy the Japanese one. But
yes, you are.
Just a little bit.
You saying you won't judge me? You will judge me.
I'm like desperate for Kapow to get in their goddamn orders so they can send it out to me. I'm like, just come on, Kapow. I know you're waiting for the post to come in, but it's your fault that I'm waiting. Well, until next week, everybody, we will catch you for another episode of the Moonbase 2 podcast, and maybe Andy will have Overlord by next week, but I doubt it. Give it to me, Mikey.
Corgan.
You are now leaving Moonbase 2.